All right. Time now is 4:47 a.m. in the morning on April 7th. If you don't believe me, here's the clock. I don't know why it's not showing anything on this camera, but it is indeed 4:47. Like if you look outside, there are no lights, but yellow lights. I mean, to be fair, I can just do this. There we go. Yeah, the clock is an hour later, because it's stuck in summertime. But yeah, I slept from 1:20 to I think 4:40. Yeah, 1:20 to 4:40. Which is 3 hours and 20 minutes, which is absolutely awful. And I didn't immediately fall asleep, obviously. Even though I was tired, I didn't immediately fall asleep. But I'm impressed I was able to go to bed this early. I made a promise to myself to go to bed at 1 a.m. I tried my best to fulfill that promise, and yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, so John L. short film day 4. Today is gonna go from 5 a.m. But I'm going to arrive a little later. I will arrive at around maybe 5:30 a.m. But anyways, it's gonna go until 5 p.m. And then after that I will go home. And that's it. And the first line of order after I come back home tonight at around 6:30-ish is to go back to bed for about an hour and a half. And then I'm gonna wake up again to cook myself dinner, etc. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, hopefully I go to bed earlier tonight so that I can wake up earlier tomorrow. Yeah. Because tomorrow I'll go to the same shoot again. Yeah. Nothing else. Leslie. Now the way I think about her now, though, it's like she's different from Mary. You know, when I think of Mary, I think of a goddess. I think of her, and I don't know, maybe it's because my feelings for Mary is like at least 200 times more intense. But like when I think of Mary, when I think of her, I feel warm. But like when I think of Leslie now, I feel a little warm-ish as well. But like not as intense. I'm still questioning whether I'm supposed to be pursuing this or not. But she just felt right, you know? She just felt right. It's been a while since I found someone that made me feel like this. I don't think I've ever woken up this early.
How's it going?
You told me I'm the DP now.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Man.
Sure.
It's a little, unfortunately, darker.
Oh my god, it's here. Really?
I've done like a really late dark. This thing is cutting it. It's so loud.
This feels so rather dim.
So many drag people already here. There's so many performers. It's like I don't want to be like another fish in a very full pond. You know, but it could be fun for a little.
At least just like last moves.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Second AD today.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I'm like in charge of background, but
Yeah.
that is good for me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
所有計劃錄幾個嚟講，我哋只係辭職啦。我年尾就會遞信。你記唔記得你兩年尾你新
Reset, go again.
疏
我都會開始。嚟。
冇喎，兩年嚟都冇。食咗嘢先講啦，唔該。
Cut.
Yeah. And I assume Antonio's up there.
Yeah.
Go. He just finished up the last one.
Alright, time now is 10:14 p.m. I just finished dinner. So let's talk about today. I don't think I've ever woken up this early. Ever in my life. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't think I've ever woken up this early. Yeah, or at least maybe I have, but it's just so rare. But I woke up at 4:40. I'm kind of impressed that I was able to go to bed at 1:20, even though it's late in a conventional sense, but to me it's extremely early. But yeah, I woke up and I took the car, and the sky was still dark and everything. Allegro, the name of the producer, he came to pick me up. And he also picked up the main actor. And then we went to some underground bar in downtown LA in the Arts District, and it looks really cool. It's a really cool looking bar. And it's completely underground and it looks really nice. And I was so goddamn sleepy. It's probably even worse than yesterday. Like, I'm just confused the whole time. Like, for a good chunk of today, I was just like roaming around, confused. It's like it's like my brain is filled with grass. It's like my brain is filled with stones. I just roamed around, sort of confused. So I thought I prepared a peanut granola bar thing in my bag, but no worries because they're providing breakfast. I had a croissant, a cup of coffee again. I had coffee yesterday, I'm having coffee again today, just to wake myself up. I'm slowly becoming a caffeine addict, and honestly, that coffee tastes so fucking good. and that's like Starbucks coffee with a lot of sweet cream. But I'm drinking it like it's nothing now. Like I would say 3 years ago, if I drank the same cup of coffee, I would be like, ooh, bitter. But now I'm changing. My tastes are changing. You know. But anyways, I tried my best, and then we started filming, and we spent the entire day there in that underground bar. And today is the toughest day for me and for everyone else because everyone's super tired, especially me for some reason. Like, there are a lot of moments where I would like take a nap, and I would be half joking when I say that because there's no way I could fall asleep this easily. I'm a very, very light sleeper, but sometimes I would actually fall asleep, like almost fall asleep. And I would look so disheveled, like I would look like a zombie and my hair would be a mess and people would laugh at me. So, yeah, that's that. And a good chunk of the day, so, I don't know, I guess John L. himself is also pretty tired and frustrated, but there have been a couple moments where, I like to stick beside John L. as a script supervisor so that I know what are the director's directions, what went wrong in the last take, and I would be more focused. If I stare at a monitor and I don't hear anything, like hear the dialogue, then I wouldn't know what's wrong. But if I'm right beside John L., like I could tell. But I guess there were already so many people stuffed in that one room. So the layout of the bar is like one square with a kitchen in the middle. And so you can literally run around the whole place in loops, which is really funny. So one side is a bar and the other side is more of a restaurant type place, but also a bar, but feels more like a restaurant. So I went to that bar side where we shot the first 4 takes, full 4 shots, I think. And I was gonna stick beside John L. And John L. looked at me and goes, Why can't you go to that other room? And he said it in a very it's the same tone as what the fuck are you doing here? And it caught me off guard a little bit. And after that I'm like, oh no, I can't find the monitor because I really don't know where it is. And he's like, go to the other room. Why? Why can't you go there? So I'm like, okay. So I just walked away. That felt not very great. And then so I found the monitor in the other side of the bar. And I couldn't hear any dialogue, I couldn't hear anything. And my scripty notes felt like shit. But yeah, I'm sure John L. was just really tired because a little bit later, he treated me a little nicer. And then there's this super torturously long dialogue scene in the diner, in the restaurant. And that was especially difficult for me because I have to notice every single small movements, like if the characters are picking up a glass of water, if they're drinking the water, if they pick up a piece of bread, if they bite into it, if they put butter on it, all the other small movements, like taking the fork and knives out of the napkin, expanding the napkin and putting the napkin on their laps, like all these small movements. It changes every single time. And I had my script in my phone and I was just going to write down all these small things. Like a single dash means hold, double dash means bite. So if it's a single dash, it's like hold bread, double dash, it's they bite into the bread. And then single dash star, it's holding a glass of water. Double dash star is like take a sip. But at some point I found out that that's basically impossible. Like, that's a terrible idea because they just do so many small movements that I can't keep up with it. I can't keep looking at my script and write on it and then while looking up towards them. It's just impossible. So at the end, I opted for recording them, and my camera keeps running out of storage space. And then I'm scared that my phone will crash because it has a low storage space. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I keep on cleaning up, deleting previous videos on today, for today, and like clearing storage space. And then at some point I realized that John L isn't even asking me questions. Like, oh, like how replenished was the bread? How much was the water in the glass? Like, I guess John L just doesn't care. Either because I'm just that terrible at being a script supervisor that he just doesn't trust me anymore and he doesn't care about continuity anymore. Or maybe it really doesn't matter. Like, maybe the audience won't even notice. And he's just too tired to even like caring about this. But at some point I just stopped recording and I like almost fell asleep. But that was after lunch, that super long scene. I stood up and I held my phone to record them. And I swear to God, I almost fell asleep standing up. Like, I was doing this. Like, I almost fell backwards. I was so sleepy that I almost fell backwards. And that's under the context, under the pretext that I drank almost 2.5 cups of coffee. I drank it again after lunch because I was just so tired. It's actually amazing how sleepy I was today. Like, I don't think I've ever been this sleepy in my whole life before. Like, if I close my eyes, I could probably immediately fall asleep. We had lunch at around 11:15 a.m. And it's the worst lunch in the whole shoot so far. It's like noodles with nothing. Like, there's no soup, there's no sauce with it, just noodles with 3 tiny cubes of red bell pepper on it for no reason. And then we have broccoli and beef, classic southern Chinese dish. Except that's not broccoli and beef. I mean, yeah, it's broccoli, but the beef, it's basically a slice of chewy, low-grade steak, and then cut into fucking cubes and tossed together in this Panda Express sauce. And it's awful. And then there's squash and 1 oversteamed, overcooked bok choy. It's awful. I had lunch with the half Japanese, half Chinese dude. And there's another white woman who's an extra, and she spoke to both of us. And then there's this chocolate. I had red velvet cake, but the white woman doesn't like chocolate cake. She got chocolate cake, so we swapped. And the chocolate cake tastes like plastic. It's so dry. It tastes like powdered chocolate plastic. And the salad is like bad. Like, it's supposed to have some crispy like tidbits in it, and they're all soggy. And the sauce is like vinaigrette with 10 calories. Like, it's just a terrible meal. So we went back in and we continued filming, blah 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 blah. And we finally finished it, and thank God. But at least I got to like socialize with a lot of people on the set. They change second AC almost every day. So today the second AC is this Chinese American girl. She's first generation. Her parents are from Guangzhou. And yeah, last time I think it was one of the producers or the casting director, the Chinese woman who was the second AC. And then on day 2, it was this Taiwanese American girl. On day 1, it's this Korean American dude. I think he's Korean American. I'm not even sure. But they change second AC every time, so that's really funny. Oh, at some point, the central Chinese girl who was the sound mixer for the first 3 days, she showed up out of nowhere. I thought she won't show up. She showed up out of nowhere, and she's like, "Hi." And I want to, like, one of the things that I want to do the most on a film set is to just get people's Instagram. And I wanted to get hers because, like, what if we never see each other again? Then all our previous funny haha conversations is all, like, they all build up to nothing, Then it's like a blip in the radar, which is kind of sad. But I never had the chance. But a little bit later, someone else got my Instagram. That other Hong Konger guy, he got my Instagram. He asked for my Instagram, and then the producer just followed me, like Allegro, the guy who drove me to the set today. Also, Liam and from My Film 33, Liam and Jaden also followed me on Instagram, so I gained 4 followers today, which is pretty wild. Oh, and then I think I followed a couple other people. There's a tall Vietnamese American dude who is a bit of a troll, a bit of a funny guy, funny man. He's a DIT. Yeah. Damn. But yeah, we finished the filming around 5 p.m. and I just went back home. Me, John L., Allegra, the producer, this other Chinese American guy who's in the art department, and then the main actor, Allegra, drove us all back home. And then I got back home and I had to go to the bathroom and then took a shower, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. So I went to bed. Again, I had a re-sleep from 7:20 to 8:40, but I didn't immediately fall asleep, surprisingly. I thought I would immediately fall asleep, but I did manage to fall asleep a bit, which is quite nice. But even so, right now, even though I'm a little bit more rejuvenated, I must admit, I feel a little dizzy. But yeah, at least tomorrow I can wake up a little bit later. Tomorrow the call time is 1 p.m. So I'm guessing I can wake up at around 10 a.m.-ish. And maybe I could even film a couple reviews. I'm gonna go to bed around 1 tonight, maybe 1:30. But yeah, that's that. Not much else. No news in the Film 33 shenanigans. Alright, time now is 10 a.m. on April 8th. Yeah, I slept from 5 a.m. to 9:50. Thank you. So, given that I slept for only 3 hours yesterday, you'd think that I was able to fall asleep very fast last night. And I went to bed at 2 a.m. yesterday, and I didn't fall asleep for 3 hours straight. Yesterday was easily the worst, like this morning was easily the worst sleep I've had of the year so far. It's absolutely fucking awful, okay? So I went to bed at 2 a.m., which is already kind of late for me. Like, I wanted to go to bed at 1, but I ended up going at 2. And then I just couldn't fall asleep. I rolled around. This is why my hair is awful. You can tell how bad someone's sleep is by looking at their hair. And I already tried to fix it this morning by adding water and whatever. But it's like, it's all over the place. And then at around 3:20 a.m.-ish, I was like, fuck it. So I went out and I, for the first time in, I think, maybe 2 years, I had a sleeping pill. Melatonin sleeping pill. But of course it didn't work. It didn't work at all. And it complicated stuff because my elbow of my right arm touched this table, so I had to wash it again. And then at around 5 a.m. I'm still fucking awake. I don't know what's wrong with my body. I don't know what's wrong with my mind. So at around 5 a.m. I figured, oh, maybe it's the temperature. Maybe that's why. So I just went to, I went outside and turned on the air conditioner, went back in, and boom, I basically immediately fell asleep after that. So yep, it's the temperature. So yeah, first of all, 5 milligrams is not enough. 5 milligrams of melatonin is not enough. Like, I don't know where the hell are the Dutch sleeping pills that I had. I swear to God, I brought them here, but I have no idea where it went. I probably have to look for it. I'm probably gonna be using it for a little bit. But 1 tablet is not enough. I'd say I would eat 3 tablets at the same time to have the melatonin work for me. But yeah, it's a goddamn temperature, of course. So yeah, I don't know. I also had a 2-hour phone call with Michelle yesterday, which was totally unprompted. But yeah, I just wish I could do the same thing with Leslie, you know. I just wish, like, the more I speak to Michelle, the more interesting I become for her. Because I told Michelle I've gone through 3 edgy phases when I was a child. Like in my life. Once when I was 10. The second edgy phase I went through was when I was 13, and the last one was when I was around 16. And then Michelle was like, "Wow, you're edgy," and that was such a that was such an interesting moment because, of course, I'm edgy, like I'm edgy as hell. But Michelle doesn't know that because I haven't really revealed that part, I guess, all that much. All she knows is that I'm really ridiculously sad and dramatic. So she asked me, have you ever considered like hurting yourself or hurting others? And I couldn't deny that, actually. Like, first of all, I've definitely contemplated killing myself. I've never tried though, which is probably why like I'm not that edgy, you know? Like, I know tons of people, or at least a few people who have tried, at least. Yeah, that's that. And I got a lot of college homework. Like, I got art history. Fuck.
How far the other spots are? I think they're only about the way.
The owner made that review. Yeah, it's not bad. Pretty decent coffee. History of woo. Woo.
I love that every time I do any show or photo shoot.
This is like, I feel like Leon the Professional. Whoa.
In my life to the point where I'm like, oh, shall we walk into something?
Like, oh, if like I have to go to the emergency. Okay, well if you do, go to Cedars.
你们要烂？哦，我现在都不知道，应该不热吧？我应该不热。
Alright, thanks guys. Let's get set for another take here. Thank you everyone.
我都唔係好肯定。你咪話要用美國咩？這個世界嘛。
Okay, cut.
All right. Time now is 1:42 a.m. Literally just got back home like 20 seconds ago. Oh my god. Fuck. Did I accidentally step on my pants? Fuck. Okay. I'm so fucking sleepy. I'm gonna talk about what happened today in great detail. But to recap, it's fine. It's whatever. It's a whatever day. It's okay. It's an okay day. Nothing all that crazy. Alright, I'm gonna immediately take a shower and go to bed. My original idea is that I'm gonna, like, whatever. Do a little homework, watch a couple episodes of anime. Fuck all that. I'm going to sleep. ASAP. Good night. Oh ho ho! Right, time now is 10:12 a.m. on April 9th. Yes, 10:12 a.m. So, I slept from around 2 a.m. to around 9:30. Yeah, that's about 7.5 hours, and that's actually pretty damn great. I woke up, I set the alarm at 10, but I woke up at around 9:30. Yeah, I feel nice. It's not the, I still wish I could have been able to wake up naturally without an alarm, but you know what, 7.5 hours, I think out of the entire last week, this is the most I've slept. So, I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. Yeah, essentially, there's that. So I need to talk about yesterday completely because I completely didn't have time to talk about that last night because after I went back home, I immediately had to go to bed. So yesterday, I woke up at around, I didn't have a great sleep yesterday at all. At around 11:30, Allegro, the name of the producer, the guy, drove me to set. He drove me, and then he went to the makeup artist's place to pick him up. And then he said, okay, do you mind if you go to a cafe and wait for about 30 minutes and then walk to set? So he dropped us off at the Coffee Bean in Koreatown. And then the makeup artist was like, oh, actually, I know several cafes around this place. Let's go somewhere else if you don't mind. And I'm like, sure. So we walked for another 6-7 minutes to this side mall place. I've never been here. Like, I've been to Koreatown a few times, but I've never been to this area, and it actually looks really nice. Like, the big streets, they actually look really fancy. They actually look pretty touristy and fancy and nice for some reason. So we went to this mall, and it's so Korean-centered. Like, I would say 85% of the people visiting this mall is Korean. And I could hear Korean all around me, and that's so nice. Like, I wish for the same in for Hong Kongers. And I know Monterey Park is full of Hong Kongers, but like, fancier. So we went to this cafe, and I wanted to eat sausage bread, and so Jeremy, the makeup artist, he bought for me, so that's cool. And then after that bread crumbled, and Leslie's texting me right now. That bread crumbled and fell all over the floor, but after that I went to H Mart to buy a bottle of Milkus, and after that we walked to set, and it's this very cool New York styled apartment. I've never been to an apartment like this before. We have to walk flights of stairs up. And so our film set is on the 6th floor, and the elevator is broken, which means that we have to walk up the stairs like 6 times. 6 flights of stairs. So I and Jeremy went up, and I felt bad. I'm scripty, and I'm not really, like, I don't have to help, but I feel really fucking bad for not helping them. So I went down and started helping. So I had to stay and watch for the stuff, and then after that I had to help bring Crafty up. Me, the half Chinese, half Japanese dude, a guy. Apparently, I don't know where this guy's from, but he has a Russian accent. Tall, tough guy. We just try to like lift this gigantic cart of Crafty up 6 floors, and I was already really tired. So, we managed to do it. And I went back down and I had to carry water up. It's crazy. And that place is cramped. Like, that place is so small. Yeah, that's that. Oh, it took a while to start filming. Also, it's been a while since I've listened to music. So for the whole day, I had my earbuds ready because I really wanted to listen to music. But it's so awkward listening to music not on public transport. Like, a while ago, I already hated listening to music while walking in the streets, but now I'm fine with that. But in this situation, it's just weird. So I listened to a little bit, and then I just stopped. And then the shoot starts, and for the most part, I stayed behind the monitor, and while they were shooting somewhere else, because the space is too cramped. So for the most part, it's a really chill day. I had to take care of continuity quite a bit, and I think I did pretty well yesterday. Like, I reminded John L. a couple things, and he's like, oh, thanks for reminding me. And John L. also asked me for my opinion, like, oh, do you think these two scenes can edit together? And I really gave my honest opinion, like, okay, I mean, these two shots are the same shot sizes and same location, so it's just gonna look like a jump cut. And he's like, oh, no, it's intentional. We had lunch at around 7 p.m., which is not that bad. It's rice with beans, sweet and sour chicken with plantains and weird yam thing, with one cookie, and then with a very bad salad. But at least it's not as terrible as yesterday. And then we shot until like 1 a.m., and then we unpacked everything. We broke down everything. We left all of the stuff up there, and then we just left. And then Allegro drove me, the main actor, and the makeup artist Jeremy back home. And then by then it's like 1:40 something a.m. And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna immediately go to bed. So that's it. Yeah, so apparently a couple nights ago, Cliff hung out with Harrison and Hinata and like 4 or 5 other people to drink alcohol until the next morning or some shit like that. And Michelle found out and she's quite disappointed. Me too, but I can't really blame Cliff because Cliff doesn't really know about the whole deal with Harrison and all that shit. And then Leslie went to the Aero Theater to watch War and Peace, a 7-hour-long Soviet film, which is fucking awesome. I wish I could be there. She watched it with Ken, the Taiwanese dude. I don't know if they like teamed up to go there together. They probably did not. Leslie probably ran into the guy. She keeps running into people. Like, she went to a Decca Joins concert and ran into Pepper. She went to watch Seven Samurai and ran into me. Like, that's pretty funny. And also, speaking of Decca Joins, in the morning, Allegro talked about, like, he played No Party for Cao Dong, which is the band that Leslie recommended to me. And Allegro was like, oh, do you know this band? And I'm like, no. And then he's like, oh, it's No Party for Cao Dong. And I'm like, oh, apparently. But yeah, there's that. Not much else. I'm gonna eat some cereal. I'm gonna edit a review. I'm gonna eat cup noodles for a quick lunch, and then I'm gonna head out again. And I'm gonna take the public transport this time because because the producer can't drive me there today. And yeah, we'll see. Leslie's giving me a really weird answer. So I just asked Leslie, like, are you free on April 13th nighttime? To watch Suzume, the anime film Alba really wants to watch. And at first she's really down to watch it, and then now she says she changed her mind. I don't know if that means like she doesn't want to watch it or she's not free on that day, but she says she may change her mind again. Okay, well, I like an unpredictable girl. That's pretty much it. Also forgot to mention that Miles has officially appointed me as production coordinator for his next passion project, his next short film. Because a few days ago on Thursday I ran into him and I said I like doing production stuff. And he told me to just find DPs who can help him film shit, scout locations. So I'm like, have you spoken to people like Lauren or Christian or whatever? And he's like, he spoke to Lauren and Cliff. Cliff doesn't have camera. Lauren's always busy, so I'm just gonna have to scout for more, which I think fine. Like, I know several more DPs. I know Jonathan. In fact, I just texted him. I know Christian, but he probably doesn't respond to texts anymore. And I'm sure I can find someone. But yeah, essentially there's that. So that's pretty cool. I texted Jonathan just out of curiosity, what cameras do you prefer? And he actually has a list of top 3 cameras he wants to use for the shoot. Arri Amira, Arri Mini, and Sony Venice. I don't think you can shoot 4K with Arri Mini, so that might be an issue.
And we don't have to end early. They made me say that.
It's a prank.
I'm texting him.
Cut. Cut.
That's a cut. That's a cut.
Yeah, someone's trying to walk up.
Oh, gotcha.
No. We broke it down. Yeah.
Can we save camera?
Oh, damn.
Please be respectful, everyone.
Amanda, can you go and get the...
Alright, time now is 12:30 after midnight. I am back from the shoot in Koreatown. Yeah, so we wrapped early. Today's supposed to wrap at 1 a.m., but we finished at around like 12 midnight. Just came back home. My plan right now is I'm just gonna take a shower, drink a sip of water, just go to bed. That's it. Nothing else. I'm gonna sleep early. I'm gonna wake up naturally tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna do nothing tomorrow. First day of spring break, nothing. Nada. So today I took bus to set. And I was late by almost half an hour, but it's totally fine because I'm the scripty and I don't need to be there that early anyways. They're probably setting up the shot and whatever. I missed a couple buses. I missed a bus, my first bus, and then I missed my second bus. It passed right in front of me. But yeah, it's great. I'm able to listen to music on the bus. It feels nice. And then I walked to the apartment building. I almost got lost. I went to the wrong street and entered the wrong apartment. But yeah, I went up and I was like, help. I DM'd Jeremy, the makeup artist, and I was like, help. I'm downstairs. I'm stuck. Can someone open the door for me? And then I had to wait for, and nobody responded to me. I waited until a couple of people entered the building, and then I sneaked in. And I entered the set, and here I am. Boom, I'm right back. Just give me the address, give me a time, and I will show up. Like, dude, now that I'm thinking about this, this is fucking crazy. Like, imagine this happening in Hong Kong, right? Just give me a time. Next Tuesday, 11 a.m., go to Sham Shui Po, whatever. Like, it's ridiculous, it's crazy. But now I'm in LA, completely alone, in a city that's completely foreign to me, and I managed to pull it off. Like, I am next level, you know? I'm doing next level shit right now. But yeah, it was great, so the shoot continued. And for the most part today, it's quite chill. Because we're in the apartment again, and a lot of the times I'm not even in the same room that they're filming in. I'm just watching the monitor silently, and I really didn't do much. A lot of scripty work is pretty tame today, because a lot of the shots are close-ups and you don't really see anything. I ate a cup noodle before I leave. There's some really expired, smudgy bean sprouts that I almost ate, but I didn't. But even after I went there, there's pineapple bun with meat inside, which is fucking weird. And I ate a bunch of awesome crafty, like Turkish delight, which is great. Today's experience ended up quite fun and memorable for me for some reason. And then we had lunch at 7 p.m., which is also the best lunch in the entire 6-day shoot. It's pork chop. It's more like smoked pork chop. Not really pork chop, just pork, like lean, kind of like ham, basically, with these layered, like, sliced potatoes, creamy potatoes, and then beans. And then I drank a Coca-Cola with it, and then there's salad, which is boring, and some cake. And then even after that, Allegra, the producer, apparently has a birthday tomorrow. And so we had a surprise birthday cake for him. Red velvet cake. And it's so funny because every single day on set, we get to have cake to eat, pretty much. Almost every single day. So that's that. Yeah, I also got to, like, socialize with literally everyone on the set. Like literally all the people. And I exchanged so many Instagrams. And it's sort of like a tradition, I guess, where you go to a film set on the last day of shoot, you just start getting people's Instagrams. And a lot of people ask me, and sometimes I try to ask others too. It's a little bit difficult to ask when you're not, like, close with them. Like, of course I talked to the makeup artist a lot, so I got his Instagram, like, way back yesterday. But yeah. Yeah. I also spoke to Ray, the guy who played the supporting actor. I spoke to him about Leslie's short, and he says he will think about it. He's down to do it, but he doesn't know if he's free that day, so we'll see. But hey, I'm doing my best to help Leslie out, you know. I hope she appreciates it. I hope Leslie will be writing a script that's sort of in Chinese, in Cantonese, and she'll need my help. Which means that we'll probably have to hang out together somewhere, sometime. I don't know. Also, I found out that Michelle isn't in Leslie's close friends, so I'm closer to Leslie than Michelle is to her. I'm pretty fucking close to her. Like, I'm doing so well, honestly. I'm gonna talk about Leslie a little bit later. But yeah, we had dinner, quote unquote lunch, and then we had one more shot Oh, it's funny. There was one moment where John L was super pissed at everyone because we made some noise. We were in the living room while they were filming at the bedroom, and we made some noise. I didn't make any noise. I was fucking silent for the most part of today because I'm like quiet and tired. But we made some noise, and John L rushed towards us, and it's clear he's mad. And he said, "Just to let you guys know, your noise ruined a take." And we're like, ooh. But yeah, otherwise John L's pretty chill for the rest of the day. Yeah, and then we started filming downstairs, which was kind of sketchy. This is where things started to go wrong. And we're basically filming the last scene. Like, the last scene is a montage, but the scene before that is essentially our two main characters parting ways, saying goodbye. And it's such an emotional scene, and it's insane because we have 2 more shots left for the shoot, and everything started to go wrong. So when I went downstairs, suddenly a random white guy, middle-aged white guy holding a white dog, entered the apartment building through the gates, and he said something mean. I couldn't hear what he's saying. He said something like "fuck you" or something, and then I was like, I made a face, you know, and everyone seemed to be making a very like shocked face. And turns out he called us chinks. He said I couldn't catch it, but apparently a little bit before that he called us chinks. He's like fucking chinks or something. Which is quite crazy because this is I'm not mad because I guess if it's one-on-one, like if a white guy specifically directed this to me, I would be fucking pissed, you know. But it's to all of us because 90% of the people on the shoot are Asian. And I also found it kind of funny because it's the first time I've experienced any racism in LA. It's kind of funny. I've been in LA for over a year, right? Over a year and 3 months, and finally I've experienced racism. It's so fucking funny. And this guy, like, what did we even do? It's so funny. And so we talked about it for a little bit, and then we continued the shoot. And then we shot a couple shots. We spent like a whole hour standing outside in the cold, in the dangerous streets of Koreatown. And everyone's a little on their edge. Someone across the street is filming us from their balcony on the first floor, or second floor, in American terms. And we got a little weird. I joked around saying, "Oh, hello, Xi Jinping," and people were laughing. I made some pretty good jokes. Like today we talked about Barbie, and I was like, "Citizen Kane, Barbie," and then people started laughing. I don't know why, but like I'm on a funny mode. Like I'm on a funny, I'm on a funny roll. That's what's happening. I forgot the other joke I made that made everyone laugh. But yeah, it's pretty fun. And then at some point, there was an ambulance that showed up behind us, and then we thought the ambulance would leave because it moved ahead a little bit, and then it stopped again, and we're like, oh, hold on, and then moved again, and we're like, oh, it's leaving. Oh, no wait, it's not moving. And then a couple fire trucks came up behind us with the ambulance, and now we're like, okay, what the fuck's happening? So we all started like looking around, not knowing what to do. John L's like confused, everyone's confused, and we all like looked, and somebody like the boom op was even like, oh, I'm smelling something burnt, and I'm like, really, what? And then turns out nothing's on fire. It's someone, you know, whatever happened. So we moved to another location to film. And there's like a location continuity error, but we tried our best to hide it. And this is also an emotional climax for the whole story, for the whole short film. And the main actor actually cried during the shot. And I almost cried watching him cry. Again, this is like the first time I've been on a shoot where a shot is powerful enough to make me cry. And it's fucking insane. Like, God, I hope one day I would be able to write a script that could make an actor actually cry. So, it's just fucking crazy. But yeah, and then that's a wrap for that actor. Not really a wrap, actually. Like, he has a couple more shots to film next week. But, yeah. And then we filmed one more walking shot. And then we're done. And then, that's pretty much it. And it's wrap for everyone. I'm done. And it's great. Everyone like cheered, but we had to keep it quiet because it's like 11 p.m. at that point, 11:30 or something. And again, I tried to get everyone's Instagram. I also tried to ask people, like, especially if they're Chinese, like where they are from exactly. Like the sound mixer and the boom op, they changed a couple times. Like I swear, a couple days ago the boom op is a different person, and then last week the boom op is the Korean girl. So the PD, the production designer, Joy, she's from Juzhou, which is a place in Hunan. And then the sound mixer, she looks really Korean. I don't know why she reminds me of like one of the Korean actresses in Broker. But she's actually from Shanghai. And then the other girl, she speaks really good Mandarin. She looks really Chinese, but actually she's born and raised in freaking Delaware. I've never met someone from freaking Delaware before. But her parents are from Beijing and Guangzhou. So it's pretty interesting. So I got both of their Instagrams. The sound mixer, like even though we hadn't talked throughout the whole shoot, last night and then today we talked a little bit. There are little moments, like yesterday her sound mixing device suddenly died, and I'm like, and she saw me. So yeah, she asked me for my Instagram. And then today, the monitor suddenly died. And I was like kind of awkward, and I looked around. And the tall Taiwanese girl, she's so tall. She's 179 cm apparently. And she's wearing like latex skirt or something today. It's so funny. And a little bit later we had cake, but we don't have forks or anything. So there's a small packet of utensils, but the fork is taken. There's only a plastic knife and a plastic spoon. So I said, 我可以用刀子, which means like I can use the knife. Yeah, lots of other small interactions. There's this camera PA who was second AC for one day. The second AC today is a half Japanese, half white girl. And then there's this camera PA who is pretty physically pleasing to the eye. And she's also kind of a very chilled, kind of a funny girl. And I would be a little silly, like I would dance around and she would see me and laugh. And then, yeah. And then at some point, a couple days ago in the bar, I spaced out and she's like, you're just dissociating. I thought she wouldn't show up today. She's on the call sheet, but she didn't show up. But she did show up very late today, like I think right before dinner or lunch. So yeah, I socialized with her quite a bit. I socialized with everyone, basically. So it's pretty awesome. So after the wrap, I was hoping, and also Ikuo, the second AD, half Chinese, half Japanese dude from San Francisco, he also thought everyone's gonna join in together and have a final goodbye, but everyone just left because everyone's just so tired. And I was like, I got everyone's Instagram except for the half Japanese girl and that visually pleasing Chinese American girl. Like, I want to get their Instagrams because I'm a silly, goofy guy. But you know what? Whatever. Screw it. Maybe I'll see them. Maybe I won't. Let it go. So I and Ikuo, we walked to the car park, like maybe 6 minutes away. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if I run into those people in the car park? And of course I did. Like the DP, the whole camera team's there for some reason. They're all driving home in one car. So I saw the Chinese American girl and I wanted to walk up to her and get her Instagram while not being awkward about it. Turns out she pulled out her phone and she was gonna ask me the same fucking thing. And I was faster than her. So that's kind of funny. Like, she saw me and she's like, oh, I want to know this guy's Instagram. Riz. I have Riz. But yeah, I got them both Instagram, and then that's quite nice. And Eco drove me back home, and then that's it. It's just awesome how, like, on every film set, big film sets, I get to, like, know more people, follow more people on Instagram. I'm slowly climbing the ranks. Like, Natalie's at 400 and something followers. I'm at 340. Like, I'm getting close to her. Now I'm gonna surpass her soon. Like, holy shit. Imagine how powerful I am gonna be. But yeah, with Leslie. This morning Leslie said she's not interested in watching Suzume with Aoba because she doesn't like watching mainstream movies in AMC or whatever. Which I respect. Like, the girl has conviction to art house classic cinema and nothing else. And I respect that. But damn, I need to find an excuse so that I could hang out with her this spring break. I want to hang out with her. And I'm entering unknown territories. Like, I've never hung out with a girl I liked before. So, yeah. I'll spoke to Michelle a little bit. Talk to you more tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay, I guess I have a little more storage space now to continue talking. But yeah, my interaction with Leslie was quite interesting this morning. I don't know what to feel. Like, I feel a little ambivalent about this. You know, it's interesting. I told Michelle about how I thought of Mary as this goddess and how she's untouchable and she's not even human. The way she reappears and disappears. And that's very much true. That's how I felt with Mary. But with Leslie, I just think of her as a human being. And I think that's, again, partially it's because I've only known Leslie for, like, less than a year. Like, for me to feel things with Mary, it took me quite a while. And then B, like, back then I was a little crazier. But it's true, like, because I'm kind of powerful now, like, way more powerful than I used to be, I don't think of, Leslie as, like, a goddess. Like, imagine being this skinny, awkward, invisible boy, you know, who can't even say hi to the girl he likes. And then, if Leslie is someone from the same school, I would probably think of her as someone really interesting and maybe kind of powerful. But now I'm sort of powerful as well. Like, I got connections and shit. So I really don't know. I see Leslie as a normal human being, but I wish I don't. Like, I wish I somehow developed this strange thought that Leslie's like a really weird, I don't know, inhuman entity. Like, I wish I could feel the same sort of weird affection for Leslie. Like, that would feel nicer for me. But yeah, you know, Leslie this morning said she changed her mind and she's not interested in watching Suzume with Aoba, which is kind of sad. I don't mind that, but now I just wanted to hang out with Leslie. So I started to really look for what sort of films that are screening. And honestly, for this week, there aren't that many interesting films screening. Next week, Academy Museum will screen Eyes Without a Face, which is fucking awesome. I'm totally gonna watch that. And then in early May, they're screening Pedicab Driver by Sammo Hung. They're also screening freaking Barry Lyndon at some point, but that's like very far away. Oh, they're actually screening Solaris. Leslie will suck that shit up. Tarkovsky's Solaris, but that's in fucking CSUM. How am I supposed to even go there? So yeah, and also Michelle found out that I have a Letterboxd account. I told Michelle to watch my short film. She watched it and she liked it. She said I had a vision, which is really cool. I'm an artsy type guy, what can I say? And then she found out that I have a Letterboxd, so she's impressed and she found it interesting. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah. I also finally had the courage to text my former Chinese teacher and show him my 2 short films. He didn't say anything in response, but I hope he will be. But yeah, Leslie. I don't want to call her Leslie because it doesn't feel like her real name. I'm just gonna call her my own, like, a name I make up for her, you know? I want to call her Moon simply because, like, the third word in her Chinese name sounds like the Chinese word for moon. Like Luna or something, but it's whatever. And it's so funny because a few months ago, I thought of, okay, after I abandoned Pepper, maybe I'll find another interesting Hong Konger. And the biggest place where I could possibly find an interesting Hong Konger is John L's short film. But I actually haven't found a single Hong Konger girl in this entire short, other than his composer. But she's barely in the production. But instead, the person I still find the most interesting in LA so far, leagues more interesting, is Leslie. She's definitely the most interesting person I've known so far in this whole deal. So, yeah, I still really want to hang out with her. I don't know. I feel kind of bad. The spring break begins tomorrow, and I have no plans, literally. Like, what the hell am I gonna do? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But anyhow, I feel like I and Leslie will have a lot to do in the next few weeks. For her film 32, for my film 33. And I hope we just get along more. And we'll see where things go. Quick addendum. When we had ice cream lollipops on the set. Wow, my mouth is red. Ice cream lollipops, and I made a joke saying and everyone laughed. That's one of my best jokes. At some point when we were filming the nighttime scenes, a homeless dude went up passed by the crew and was like, "Oh, be careful, there's poop behind you." And I thought he's for real, and I was like, "Whoa." But I didn't mind, it wasn't like embarrassing or anything. And then he tapped me on the shoulder. He hit me on the arm saying, "Haha, my acting is so good, right? My acting is so good." What the fuck? Yeah, the 早上好中国 thing was when the Malaysian photographer, another Malaysian photographer, funny, when he received a phone call from China, and it's like, whoa, what the heck? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, time now is 12:07 afternoon. I just woke up. I slept from 2 a.m. to I think around 11:30. God, my hair is atrocious. So yeah, today is day 1 of spring break. God, why is my hair so atrocious? God damn. God damn. My hair is awful. I already like wash my hair, but like it's not working. I look like an olive, like a horizontal olive. Yeah, this is terrible. I cannot see, this cannot see the light of day. I guess I'll just have to live with it. So, yeah, finally I got to sleep and wake up naturally without an alarm. It's the first day of spring break out of 7 days. Actually, it's supposed to be 10 days, but I spent the last 3 days working with John L. short film. So, not exactly spring break, you know. Yeah, I think I had a couple of dreams, except I forgot. Oh shit. How the hell did I manage to forget? I mean, these 2 dreams are very vague. I remember that they're very vague. But like... I don't know. I went back to Hong Kong. I forgot. I almost had it. But yeah, essentially, I have nothing planned to do for today. I have nothing planned in my schedule. I'm just gonna focus on, the basic shit, college homework, filming and editing a review, editing Japan vlog. Because I've been so busy in the last couple of weeks, I didn't have a lot of time to edit my Japan vlogs. And because of that, I have tons and tons of first-time videos that I'm going to edit that I still hadn't edited. So, that's that. I also wanna, really complete The Virgin, the script. I wanted to finish The Virgin yesterday. I could have, I had a lot of time. Except, I realized that it's wrong. Like, I want myself to be in the right headspace when I write The Virgin. I want to have that lonely, cynical anger. And yesterday I was literally on set and I was kind of in a happy mood, honestly. I was feeling right. I was feeling nice, actually. That's the exact opposite of the emotion I want. So I want to maybe reread some of my older diaries to sort of recollect that angry, cynical feeling that I used to have, so that I could write The Virgin. Yeah, I don't know. And then I may go to Ralph's, so that's that. I'm still thinking what to do with Leslie. Last night, Leslie made a couple Instagram stories on her on her close friends, essentially taking a couple selfies and saying she wants an In-N-Out burger and a strawberry milkshake, which is quite nice. She's secretive, but she's a little exposing. Sort of like Mary, Mary's kind of secretive. She doesn't post much, but she posts something revealing once in a while. And then I guess it was late and I was tired, but I responded to one of those Instagram stories with saying, Los Angeles has damned us with eternal starvation. And Leslie saw it and just didn't say anything. I guess I spooked her, maybe. But yeah, I don't know, just the more I think about it, the fact that she makes Instagram stories for her close friends and Michelle isn't in her close friends. So I'm definitely one of the closest people to her. And I feel like it's possible that she would, like me back. But again, that's also such a ridiculous thought. Look at this fucking idiot. And that's also one of the reasons why, like, if I don't finish The Virgin now, I'll probably never do it. Because even though I don't have a girlfriend now, this idea that there are girls around me who, like, don't hate me and actually acknowledges my existence and want to hang out with me is just proportionally epic. Okay? So, that's that. I don't know, we'll see. I need to find a fucking excuse to hang out with Leslie. In fact, I want to find things to do this spring break. I don't want to spend this entire week sulking in my bedroom like a loser, okay? I need to do something. I need to go out there and do something. So, yeah, we'll fucking see. Alright, time now is 7:08. I just came back home. I can't find spinach, so I got this Power Green shit. I got some American cheese. I never bought this kind. Got some guac. More alcohol spray because I'm a huge germaphobe. Got some pork chops. Got a couple slices of steaks. I got some Eggos. It's been a while. I wanted some new breakfast, so here we go. I got some white mushrooms, some white potatoes. Got a couple avocado. Got a can of clam chowder. Got 6 small cans of cherry Pepsi. Got some Spam, and then finally got a couple garlic. This is $55. Alright, time now is 10:21 a.m. p.m. actually, on April 10th. So, yeah, Nothing important happened today. I went to Ralph's and then came back home. That's it. Pretty peaceful. I guess if I like spend most of this week like doing nothing, I would honestly be fine with it. Um, I have so many thoughts right now. But yeah. Several things happened. Birkin texted me and said he wants to set a date for location scouting during the spring break. And of course I have to be there because I'm officially the location manager now. Yeah, I guess there's that. And then I told him, okay, tonight I'm gonna get you all the addresses of the locations. So that's what's happening. He said he's gonna text Carly. So finally, the producers are telling me shit. Finally, for once, the producers are telling me shit. That's that. That's very interesting. In other news, Miles called me on Discord. Miles randomly asked me if I'm free to call to be a production coordinator for his short film. And I'm like, sure. And then he randomly fucking called me out of nowhere. And I said, okay, give me half an hour. And then half an hour later, he's having dinner. So while I'm cooking dinner, he calls me. So I actually cooked while calling. And I had to hold the pan and my phone on my left hand while holding a spatula on my right hand to like swipe the food onto my plate. It's crazy while being on a phone call. But yeah, Miles has this new project coming up for a non-profit organization, and he wants me on board to be part of the producing team. It's not going to be a huge production, but at least, again, many years ago, I'm completely ignored and things like this, but right now people are asking me to help them left and right. I just finished being a scriptie for John L, and now I have this, and now I have that. I'm like, ooh, fucking hell. And I guess that's pretty much it so far. Honestly, no news on anything else. I still have no idea what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm probably just gonna stay at home the whole day tomorrow. That or I adventure somewhere. I don't fucking know, man. I want to hang out with Leslie. Leslie and her Korean roommate girl went hiking today, and then they had In-N-Out, so that's pretty cool. I want to hang out with her, but I can't think of a fucking excuse. Again, I'm entering dangerous territory now. I've never had to deal with this before, because back in the day, when I was in love with Mary, the thought of hanging out with her is just too wild and absurd. But, I want to see her, man. I got to see her. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. This feels different from Mary, obviously. Like with Mary, just thinking about her can make me cry. But now that I'm thinking of Leslie, of course I don't want to cry, but like, it feels different. It just feels different. Mary feels like a goddess, and Mary feels like a supernatural ultimate being, while Leslie's somewhere on the same par with me. But yeah, Leslie keeps making jokes about suicide on her Instagram to her close friends. Like, she pointed at a cliff and say, if life throws problem at you, this is the answer. And then, like, I don't know, in a way it also kind of reminds you of Natalie. Natalie would joke around saying, haha, suicide, and it's kind of edgy, kind of funny. But Leslie does it in a lamer way, I guess. Like, Natalie has this insane psychotic edge to her, and Leslie is just tired. So that's one thing, and that is, Leslie, while she is the most interesting person I've known so far, I wouldn't say she's even near the level of enchantment that Natalie or Mary exude. So I really don't know if I'm really like into her or not. But I think whatever the case may be, I think Leslie's at least 100 times better than Pepper. 100 times more interesting, 100 times more of a personality than Pepper. And I do think of Leslie quite often. So yeah, I don't know. I just need to find a day to hang out with her. and find an excuse. More importantly, find a freaking excuse. But again, like the thought of the idea that I want Leslie to like me back, again, it's dangerous territory. I never thought of making Mary like me back, because that's ridiculous. There are like at least 50, 60 other guys more good looking than me, faster than me, stronger than me, smarter than me, cooler than me, funnier than me. I am the bottom of the barrel. And with Leslie, in this situation, it's supposedly more difficult. I'm in LA where everyone's hot and interesting, and there are definitely more attractive options than me. I am no one but a lowly worm. So, but even so, I feel like I stand a higher chance now because I've truly like exponentially improved as a person. And not to sound cocky, but that's sort of true, right? But even so, it's still a competition. Like, I don't know what, like, if I am Leslie right now, and I know this Hong Kong dude, this funny ass Hong Kong dude who is maybe a little artsy, definitely a film type guy, kind of an interesting, maybe a wee bit interesting. How do I like him? What reasons do I have? I wouldn't know because I'm not Leslie. I don't know what she likes. But how do I impress her at least? And I think the only card I have is to really trauma dump on her and just make her think that, hey, at least this guy has depth to his personality. I don't know. I have to do the same thing I did with Michelle. Just start small. I low-key want to... Okay, so my first step is to literally have Leslie tell me what she ate for dinner. Because that was one of the benchmarks between me and Michelle. That was one of the benchmarks in our relationship. It's such a small benchmark, but it is somewhat of a benchmark. And then I guess the next step would be something more personal. Like, I guess one of the biggest steps to getting close to someone is to talk about your love life. 1, talk about your love life. 2, talk about your past. And the thing is, I never talked to Pepper about my love life. And talking to someone I like would definitely feel really weird. So I really don't know. Yeah. I guess another thing is I want to show Leslie how organized I am. I think that's definitely one of the biggest turns. Like, this is definitely one of those moments where people are like, oh, so this Enoch person, he's someone else. Like, he's different. He's not like other boys. You know, when I showed Potter and when I showed Pepper the Google spreadsheets on my phone, they were like, holy fuck, you're actually you need to see a therapist, whatever. So I want to show Leslie that, especially given that Leslie is the opposite of that. For sure. Yeah, I just gotta find an excuse. Also, I forgot to mention that yesterday, the half Japanese, half Chinese guy who drove me back home, he is apparently at some point the president of the International Student Forum in my college. And I told him about Night Owl out of curiosity, and he said he has no idea what that is. And he legit got interested, what is that? And I said, I don't know, it's something only 95% of the people who know are international students, and it's sort of this underground society in my college. And he asked me if you need to pay to get in, and I'm like, yeah, $25. And he's like, what the fuck? I've never heard of it. So it's really interesting. Again, I heard that they're organizing something in April, maybe by the end of spring break. I have no idea. I'm tripping. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Fuck. I want to finish writing The Virgin. I feel like again, the Virgin is sort of holding me back from really like getting out there. And I realize that no matter what happens to me now, I will never go back to the same mental state I used to have when I write the Virgin. Even if I listen to Radiohead music all day, and I look at my own diaries, and I eat food that reminds me of what it's like, back in 4 and 5 and 6. I'll never feel the same anymore because people actually text me nowadays. People actually respond to me. I have connections now, and I don't feel that bad now. Like, I don't feel that pressure anymore. So, I don't know. I gotta finish the Virgin as fast as possible. I really do. I don't know. I'm also like fantasizing a little bit, perhaps. I'm a very dramatic person, and for me, I don't truly love a girl unless I've cried for them. And while I've never cried for any girls after I've been in LA, I could potentially see Leslie like denying me or making me confused, or just playing with my feelings to a point where I cry. And I feel like that would definitely satisfy that category. Like I remember like not being able to say happy birthday to Mary and then crying because of that. Or the dozens and dozens of times Natalie made me cry because she's such a bully. Speaking of which, I haven't spoken to Natalie in a while. You know what? I'll speak to her once I get close to Leslie. Then I'll have some like stance, Fuck, I don't know. I want to speak to Michelle about this, but I don't want to pester her too much. I want to speak to Cliff about this as well. Maybe.